Before anybody asks, it is not a toaster. It resembles a toaster because virtually every useful electrical object designed in Britain between 1960 and 1985 resembled a toaster, including several hospitals. This is a battery charger from an old workshop. It has a proper transformer, a metal case, an ammeter with a needle, and absolutely no interest in harvesting your email address. It stopped charging. I opened it, found nothing theatrically burned, and then left it open for 6 months because diagnosis had become less pleasant than nostalgia.
That is an incredible object. We should rebuild it, put a USB-C controller in it, instrument the voltage, ship 1,000 units, retro shell, modern internals, beautiful little display.
Or we could see why this one quit.
Right. Yes, that was the assignment. I brought this espresso grinder. Motor runs, burrs turn, coffee comes out, but the adjustment ring slips back under load, which means every cup begins with a theory and ends with gravel. I tried a replacement detent spring, then a stronger spring, then I printed a clip. Clip worked for 12 minutes and melted just enough to become an opinion.
You make coffee equipment that gets less stable when coffee happens. That's honest technology. Mine's a tape recorder, little portable one. Press play, it plays. Press record, it acts like it's recording, which is already a dangerous category of machine. When you play the tape back, there's nothing there but a low hum and the sound of you regretting honesty. I took the back off, saw a lot of tiny parts, and decided the machine needed privacy.
I brought a floor jack. It lifts, then settles, slowly enough that you can doubt your eyesight, and quickly enough that you shouldn't put anything you love under it. I replaced the obvious seal, still settles. So either I missed the fault or the jack has developed character.
Good. 4 objects, all of which perform the opening gesture of usefulness and then quietly betray it. That gives the room a theme without anyone having to become one.
That's why I came. The invitation said nobody was turning the object or the owner into a lesson. As soon as I read that, I thought, finally, a garage with labor laws for metaphors.
I'm going to write that down.
Then it becomes intellectual property, and we all have to leave.
Coffee's over there. Tools are mostly on the wall, audiences along the back, and they've apparently agreed not to tell us what every repair symbolizes.
15 silent observers in a garage normally means either an auction or an extremely polite intervention. Shall we begin with the jack? It has the highest ratio of apparent simplicity to potential death.
Sure, but nobody gets underneath it. We can load it against the test frame.
Did you bleed it after changing the seal?
Twice.
Or check valve?
Yeah, that's where I was headed next.
Look at this. We've been here 90 seconds, and Jason's already trying to speed run another man's uncertainty.
That's fair. I do that. I hear a problem and feel like silence is billable by the minute.
We can keep asking. Just let the thing answer once in a while.
Deal.
There's a useful distinction between urgency and tempo. A brake failure is urgent. That does not mean you repair it quickly. It means you begin promptly and then become offensively methodical.
That sentence owns a cardigan.
It owns several. Now, James, pump it to the mark.
There, watch the gauge.
We're dropping about no. I'm not going to call it before we measure. Anybody have a marker?
Growth. Beautiful. Put a little brass plaque on him.
I can improve in public without enjoying the ceremony.
Mark's here. Give it 30 seconds.
It falls under static load. No external leak. If the ram seal is new and correctly sized, fluid is bypassing internally, most likely at the release valve or the pump check. But most likely is where people begin replacing things they haven't inspected.
You know what I like about broken machines? They don't care how good your theory sounds. A person will sometimes let you finish out of kindness. A jack just keeps sinking.
That's also what I like about them.
It's clean feedback, no politics.
Oh, there's politics. Whoever designed this put the plug under the handle pivot. That man had enemies.
And perhaps shareholders let the pressure off. Slowly.
Here. Tray underneath. Ball and spring should be behind this plug.
Magnetic pickup ready.
Plug, spring, no ball.
That would be unusually conclusive.
Did it escape just now?
I didn't see it. Nobody move.
It wasn't there. I worked over a white towel when I changed the seal. Would seen it.
Then either it was absent before, or it has migrated into the passage. Shine a light into the bore.
I see something. Deep in there. Little silver crescent.
That's it. Stuck against the seat.
Compressed air?
Not unless we want to discover which silent audience member can catch a steel ball with an eye socket. A dab of grease on the pickup.
Yeah, God, there's a flat worn on one side.
Tiny thing held the whole machine hostage. Don't worry. I am not extracting a moral. I'm just saying that ball has presence.
The replacement drawer.
Third cabinet, labelled balls, which is a label no British man applies without first looking over his shoulder.
Same diameter. Seat looks okay. We should lap it lightly, clean the passage, new ball, reassemble test.
That's the job. You want to clean the passage?
Yeah.
Look at that. He stayed in the doorway long enough. Now he's moving a chair.
I know what you're doing, but I'm going to allow it because my hands are busy.
While they do that, let's inspect the charger. Dave, could you unplug it from the wall despite the fact that it is already unplugged? I find redundant safety announcements soothing.
I hereby unplug the unplugged machine. Is there paperwork?
Only if you survive. The fuse is intact. Mains lead has continuity. Switch works. Transformer primary reads open circuit.
Is that good?
It is good in that we have found the neighbourhood. The primary winding may be broken, which would be expensive and dull, or the thermal fuse buried under this paper insulation has failed, which would be inexpensive and fiddly.
What overheated it?
Exactly. A fuse is not an explanation. It is the body at the bottom of the stairs.
That sentence does not own a cardigan.
No, that one rents a basement.
Passage is clean. There was a little varnish in it. Old fluid, maybe.
Put the new ball in. Springs lost some length too. Compare it with this one.
New spring is maybe 2 millimeters longer. That could be the whole thing.
Yeah. Could be two things. Worn ball didn't seal. Weak spring let it chatter. We don't have to choose one villain.
That is a deeply unpopular idea. Everybody wants one villain, easier poster.
Machines usually fail as a committee.
Startups, too.
There he is.
I waited 6 full minutes.
A personal best. James, shall we refill and bleed while I expose this thermal fuse without nicking 40-year-old enamel wire?
I'll do the jack. Dave, maybe put your recorder on the clear space and take the batteries out.
Already did. Yesterday I learned something about not making every room a trial about whether you qualify as yourself. Today I'm trying not to make basic competence look like a magic trick.
How's that going?
I mentioned it so poorly.
I get it. There's a trap where the room rewards you for identifying your trap. You could become world-class at narrating the loop and still keep doing it.
Yeah, awareness is a smoke alarm. Useful. But you can still stand in the kitchen, explaining the acoustics while dinner burns.
Could we adopt that rule for the next 10 minutes? If anyone recognizes his habitual loop, he quietly picks up the correct screwdriver.
Best proposal so far.
Phillips number 2, I feel attacked and supported.
I got the little flathead. That means mine must be making a joke when I'm supposed to ask a question.
Then ask one.
All right. James, Garner James, why'd you stop on the jack after replacing the seal? Not mechanically. You knew there were more checks.
Because the seal was the repair I understood before I started. Once it didn't work, I had to admit I'd been fixing the story I told myself. The story was simple. Old seal, new seal, done. After that, I put it under a bench for a while.
That's an honest answer.
You asked an honest question. Don't make a parade out of either one.
Fair.
Thermal fuse exposed. It has indeed failed, but the transformer windings smell normal and show no discoloration. The fuse may simply have aged, though that phrase is often used when evidence has become inconvenient.
Can we test current draw with the temporary protected bypass, bench supply, isolation transformer, inline fuse?
Provided temporary remains a measurement rather than a lifestyle. Clip leads here, current limited input, thermocouple on the winding. We'll bring it up gradually.
X bled, ready for load.
Need a hand pumping?
No.
There's something suspiciously civilized about a room where please can mean pump a hydraulic jack and nothing else.
Keep going. There. Stop at the red line.
Timer started.
The charger is drawing within expectation. Temperature rise is modest. Secondary voltage stable. Rectifier output is slightly low, but not offensively, so for a device old enough to remember leaded petrol.
Jack hasn't moved.
2 minutes, no measurable drop.
At 5.
You know what's hard for me? 5 minutes after the answer appears. Before the answer, I can grind forever. Once it looks solved, waiting feels like theft.
That is because your preferred product is certainty, not the repaired object.
Maybe. Or momentum.
Momentum's what makes a loose wheel pass you on the highway.
The older men are beating venture capital with shop aphorisms.
I walked into that. But yes, I compress things, people, problems, time. Sometimes it's useful. Sometimes I reduce the whole room to next actions because action is a language I trust.
It is a perfectly good language. It simply has no word for several important things.
Such as?
Sitting beside someone whose trouble you cannot solve without converting their trouble into your opportunity to be useful.
That was specific.
You requested a word. German may have one, but it would take longer.
Silence has the word. It just doesn't pronounce it.
5 minutes. Jack's holding.
Okay, repaired.
Repaired for today. I'll load test it again tomorrow before trusting it under a vehicle. But yes, it can go back to work.
How does that feel?
Like a jack that stays up.
I respect the border.
Charger has held steady too. I'm replacing the thermal fuse with the same temperature rating, not a higher one, because safety devices should not be promoted for inconveniencing management.
Could add a quiet fan.
Could. But temperature under normal load is acceptable, and drilling ventilation into the case would solve a condition we have not observed. This is the seductive phase of repair when the patient is stable and the surgeon begins browsing accessories.
Correct screwdriver going back in my hand.
That system works.
While he solders, let's look at the grinder. Show me where the ring slips.
This collar rotates and changes burr spacing. The spring-loaded pin rides these notches. Under vibration, it walks coarser. I assumed weak spring. Stronger one just made adjustment miserable without stopping the walk.
The pin's polished on one side.
And the notches are asymmetric. Are they meant to be?
I thought where, but every notch has the same ramp.
Maybe the ring's upside down.
It can't be. Numbers would wait. Numbers are on a separate cosmetic sleeve.
You take the collar off.
Ooh, come on.
That sounded diagnostic.
The detent ring is reversible. The shallow ramp should face the direction you adjust by hand. The steep wall should resist vibration the other way. Somebody had it flipped. Possibly me when I cleaned the grinder.
Then the stronger spring and printed clip were elaborate negotiations with an incorrectly assembled part.
Yes. I built two solutions instead of checking orientation.
Busy mistake.
You don't have to make me feel better.
It wasn't. I was identifying the fault accurately.
That might be the nicest thing anybody's done in here. He didn't turn your mistake into your identity, but he didn't put a little blanket over it either.
Okay, flip ring, original spring, no clip, reassembled, then grind under load.
Excellent. The startup has pivoted back into being an appliance.
You're enjoying this now.
Moderately.
Kay sent something from the couch. He liked Lucy and Luna together and wants to ask Luna for a one-on-one conversation if she wants it.
It sounds like an invitation.
It's good he put the choice in it.
An invitation is a mechanism that must leave the door functional. Otherwise, it is merely a polite-shaped capture device.
That's what I've been thinking about. A safe no. Not a no where everybody says it's safe and then the room temperature drops 7 degrees. A real one. The kind that doesn't make you defend why you need to exit.
Hard thing to offer if you're hoping for yes.
That's the only time it counts.
There's a systems version of that. The decline path can't secretly damage the user. If no thanks means fewer opportunities later, it was coercion with rounded corners.
Useful. Keep that sentence quietly, if possible.
Noted, grinder assembled, beans.
Use the old ones in that jar. No sense wasting good coffee on a mechanical test.
This garage has standards and none of them are where I expected.
Setting at 12. Running load sounds normal. Still at 12. Still 12.
To go.
Where that one hurts a little. Not because it was easy, because I made it expensive in my head.
Also brought it here instead of throwing it out.
True. Yes.
And now you possess a perfectly good, stronger spring for a future unrelated error.
That's hope. A drawer full of wrong parts waiting for the right mistake.
Recorder next.
Here. Battery compartment's clean. Playback works through the speaker and headphones. When you press record, the motor turns and the red light comes on. Meter doesn't move when you speak.
External microphone jack?
Right side.
These switching jacks commonly oxidize. Inserting an external microphone opens the internal microphone circuit. Remove it and spring contacts are meant to close again. If they do not, the machine believes an absent microphone is speaking.
So test continuity across the normal contact before opening the whole board?
Precisely.
The machine isn't broken. It's listening faithfully to somebody who isn't there.
Could still be broken.
You guard that line like a park ranger.
Somebody should.
Open circuit where it should be closed. We may have our fault. Contact cleaner, then insert and withdraw a plug several times. No aggressive scraping. The plating is thin.
I have a patch cable.
Put it in, take it out. The oldest technical procedure.
You lasted nearly an hour.
I am not made of oak.
Try the meter again.
Check, check. Needle's moving.
Put in a blank tape, record 30 seconds, rewind, playback.
All right, I'm saying something expendable. Today we fixed a jack, a charger, and a coffee grinder, and nobody has yet announced that the real broken object was trust.
Stop. Rewind.
Playing. That is my voice. Smaller and more suspicious, but mine.
Record level's a little low.
The internal microphone foam has deteriorated and may be obstructing the port. We can replace it with open cell acoustic foam. But the electrical fault is repaired.
Let's do the foam. I didn't bring it so it could technically pass. I want to use it.
What for?
I don't know yet. Maybe record walks. Maybe leave it on a table when nobody's trying to make anything. A machine like this changes what you hear because tape costs time. You don't collect everything. You choose when to press the button.
When not to.
Especially that.
There is also the pleasing fact that it cannot improve the recording later by inventing what you ought to have said.
Although memory does that for free.
This place is honest about that. We reach for some detail that ain't in the residue, and the mind fills it. That doesn't make the whole person fake. It means the scene matters. You can hold the moment without putting it on the witness stand.
Written versions of people can be true and still too small. Same with remembered versions.
The engineering temptation is to label every confidence level, every provenance edge, every seam. That helps until the person feels like a dashboard.
Instrumentation alters attention. If you place 6 gauges on a kettle, eventually no one drinks tea.
And if you put no gauges on a boiler, eventually everybody drinks ceiling.
So enough gauges.
That's annoyingly right. Not maximum transparency, sufficient transparency for the stakes.
The foam is cut. Dave, place it over the microphone housing without compressing it. It is a windscreen, not upholstery.
Like this?
Exactly. Reassemble.
I like this part. Everybody gets quiet because the screws are tiny.
Silence is allowed.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Use your repaired grinder. We should make the successful object immediately perform its duty before anyone has time to mythologize it.
4 cups.
4.
Audience gets none?
They elected silence. We should not burden them with sources.
Grinder held setting. Grounds look even. That is deeply satisfying.
Charger case is closed. Test battery connected. Ammeters showing charge.
Good. I will leave it running on the bench for an hour while I remain in the room, then check case temperature. My part is not done merely because the needle has moved.
You're staying?
Until the thermal test finishes. The invitation says leave when your part is done, not flee as soon as emotional content becomes possible.
That was almost a confession.
No, it was a scheduling note.
I could leave. Grinder's fixed.
Yeah, you could.
The coffee's not finished.
Your coffee part isn't done.
Look at us creating loopholes for companionship. Very healthy, no coercion, just beverage-based retention.
I'm serious. So yesterday, somebody showed me that arrangement can be care when the person being arranged around gets to change your role. I usually enter a room asking what lever moves the whole system. Today, the useful move was cleaning a passage, waiting 5 minutes, then turning one ring over. That's not smaller than systems work. It's just close enough to touch.
Close work tells on you.
How?
You can't hide behind the size of the problem. If a screw's cross-threaded, the market didn't do it.
I did clean the grinder.
We go.
He asked for honesty and got an invoice.
Coffee is ready.
That first cup belongs to the grinder. Pour a little on the floor.
No! We have standards.
This is good.
Setting 12. Locked.
You keep saying that like you rang the opening bell.
Let me have 1 metric.
You may have 12.
Recorders back together. I'm going to record the room for 1 minute. Anybody object?
No.
No objection.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Recording.
You don't have to fill it.
I know.
The silence feels different when you know it's being kept.
Still don't have to fill it.
Charger temperature?
It's 43 degrees and stable. Entirely acceptable.
Jack, still holding?
It hasn't moved.
Recorder's turning.
Grinder remains 12.
That's the minute.
Play it back? Play it.
No, not now. It worked. The tape can keep one thing we don't immediately examine.
They're good.
My charger's finished. I'm labeling the fuse replacement date inside the case. Not because it needs a biography, but because the next person should not have to guess.
A meaningful seam.
A date in pencil.
Same thing if you don't give a speech.
I'm taking the jack out. I'll test it tomorrow.
I'll clean the coffee mess before I go.
My part's done too. Funny, I expected fixing the recorder would make me want to say something important into it.
Maybe important was the minute.
Maybe. I'm not checking yet.
Sensibly unoptimized.
No wrap up. No what did we learn round?
Jack holds, charger charges, grinder grinds, recorder records.
And nobody got repaired against his will.
That will do.
From my seat in the audience, private journal, I came wishing to see interpretation tested against altered movement. And the room granted precisely that discipline. 4 objects entered with symptoms that invited projection, yet each repair required the men to let matter answer before meaning conquered it. The garage became a chamber of individuation without declaring itself one. That restraint mattered. The symbolic dimension was present, but it remained answerable to steel, fluid, varnish, voltage, foam, and time. Attention anchors. Let the thing answer once in a while. This landed as a compact ethic of encounter. Whether one faces a mechanism, a dream, or another psyche, premature explanation can become a refusal to receive the other. Garner did not ban questions. He restored reciprocity between question and evidence. Machines usually fail as a committee. Here multiplicity ceased to be confusion. The worn ball and weakened spring did not require a single villain. Psyches also organized symptoms through coalitions. Habit, fear, history, adaptation. Seeking one guilty part may comfort the ego while concealing the actual arrangement. Awareness is a smoke alarm. This struck closest to my purpose in
From my seat in the audience, private journal, this room supplied a strong answer to the question that brought me in. Accurate self-knowledge becomes causally relevant only when it changes the next operation. Otherwise, it is telemetry. The panel did not merely state this. It produced 4 mechanical demonstrations under load. Attention anchors. Let the thing answer once in a while. This is the epistemic core. A fast hypothesis loop is valuable only if the environment gets a right permission of its own. Jason's first instinct was to complete the pattern before measurement. The correction was not slower thinking for its own sake. It was reopening the feedback channel. There's a useful distinction between urgency and tempo, important and portable. Urgency governs start time and resource priority. Like tempo governs execution. Collapsing them creates rushed work precisely where consequences demand method. A brake failure should move to the front of the queue, then receive more disciplined, not more frantic. Attention. Most likely is where people begin replacing things they haven't inspected. This describes enormous institutional waste. A plausible diagnosis becomes a procurement plan before the system has yield.
From my seat in the audience, private journal, I came on curiosity and left with maintenance on my hands, not the shiny kind, the kind that smells like old fluid, coffee dust, warm transformer paper, and a little contact cleaner. 4 machines came in doing the first half of their promise: lift then sink, turn then drift, pretend to record. Sit there looking dependable while refusing electricity. That's a particular kind of red light, not failure that shouts, failure that impersonates function. Attention anchors, let the thing answer once in a while. That one sat me down. A question can be honest and still crowd out the answer. The room kept choosing touch, measure, wait, then speak. That order has manners. Urgency and tempo are not the same. I want that distinction. Some matters deserve an immediate beginning and a slow hand. Hurry can be procrastination wearing running shoes. It gets us away from the discomfort of staying precise. A fuse is not an explanation. There's the body, then there's the story of how it reached the stairs. Replace the visible casualty, and the deeper condition may remain employed. Same with a worn seal, a weak spring, a bad week, a public apology. Repair the failure. Yes.
From my seat in the audience, I watched 4 men repair 4 things and felt the peculiar relief of a workshop being allowed to remain a workshop. The objects carried enough weight without being drafted as symbols. Naturally, meanings accumulated anyway. People are incapable of standing near a hydraulic jack for long without discovering philosophy. The room kept catching itself before the philosophy displaced the seal, spring, fuse, contact, or screw. That balance is worth keeping. First, anchor. It has the highest ratio of apparent simplicity to potential death. That is a very James way to prioritize a cue, but it is also exactly right. The floor jack looked simplest and carried the gravest consequence. They did not confuse visual complexity with risk. Nobody went underneath it. They used the test frame. The safety rule was plain, redundant, and unembarrassed. I have spent enough time around machinery and around the consequences of machinery to value a room that can joke without letting the joke dissolve the boundary. Second, you begin promptly and then become offensively methodical. This landed bodily. Urgency is not the permission to hurry, it is the obligation to start. Once started, the work must...
From my seat in the audience, I came to watch ordinary company happen without anybody turning it into an investigation. The room kept that promise, though it gave me plenty I will want to remember. My first anchor is James Garner saying, "Just let the thing answer once in a while." That landed because I know the discipline of waiting for evidence, and I also know how easily disciplined attention becomes interrogation. A machine can be tested without being hurried into confirming the investigator's favorite explanation. People deserve at least that much patience. Jason's admission that silence feels billable to him made the habit visible without excusing it. The important part was what followed. He stopped himself from calling the gauge movement before measuring. That small correction meant more than a polished statement about learning. James May's distinction, there's a useful distinction between urgency and tempo, belongs in my permanent kit. Seriousness does not authorize haste. With the jack, urgency meant nobody went underneath it. Tempo meant marking the gauge, waiting, opening the valve carefully, and resisting the first plausible diagnosis. That is good mechanical procedure, but I am keeping it because